Hello, good people. Let's check my audio. Good to have you again. It's an afternoon session of BOSA. BOSA, we are trading. We found a really good setup, guys. And the NGHO spread. Yeah, so you can trade two futures energy contracts. And in this case, we are short the NG and long the HO. Now here is a P&L chart, basically a floating equity. The blue line, the bars here, show that spread. Clearly a big breakout to the upside. So NG gaining on HO in that move there. Um, but we hit our channel lines. Now I haven't talked much about the channel lines here. We have this red channel line here. That shows us historically that spread doesn't get above that level. So we're looking to short when we hit those upper red uh, dotted lines. And we also have a good indication here. Our spread history has a strong tendency to be below the midline, and that is putting pressure on the downside. Also, you can see that the channel line, the upper channel line, is getting lower and lower and lower, closer and closer. As time goes forward, we're expecting this market to settle back to the midline. And that's what this historical trend shows us, is that we drop off from this time period all the way into the close at 1630-ish, right around here. So we are short right now. We were up about $70 on the bounce of this moving average, so I might have gotten in a little early, but we're gonna hold on for a little while. We're gonna see if we can get a push down. I'm holding on for a big target on this. Let's see here. We're short from here, and if I go down to that level, it is a move of where to go? About $1,000 move. It's a big, it's a big position in the spread. I'd be happy to get out maybe at this level. So that's about $600 move from where we're at right now. One thing that's nice about BOSA is you can trade limit, well, not limit, I would say. I would say touch orders. So this blue line here is a buy touch target. And the minute that the ask of the spread gets down to that, it will exit out the position on both contracts at once, simultaneously. So it has a built-in limit or target system, and that is what you can show on and off. Here are the automatic trade lines. You can remove them or show them. Right now I've got them displayed, and I have set my uh, BOSA to automatically close when we hit that buy target. Now, if you wanted to set a stop loss, since we're short, you could put a stop loss order in, and a stop loss order is a buy signal that's above whatever level you want to put a stop at. Let's give you an example. So you can add a trade line anytime you want, automatic trade line. In NinjaTrader, you just put the F6 key and you touch on the level you want to close out at. Let's say we want to get out at negative 61,900. Let's make it 61,900. And all you got to do is change the tag name to a buy to exit. Really just need the buy word in there. Once you have the word buy in there, it knows it will be a buy stop order above the market. So we're going to hit OK. And there, right above, any buy above the short market is a stop loss order. So we know right away if this is a stop or a target. Very simple with BOSA to do that. Um, Deleting it is very simple. It's just a drawn line, so all you got to do is hit the delete key once you've selected it. Now, one other idea I've had, guys, and let me know what you think about this. So with BOSA, we're looking for markets that are at opposite ends of their trading range. Um, for instance, the HO market is in the lower half of its daily range. The NG market is in the upper half of its daily range. So we want to short the one that's overbought and we want to buy the one that's oversold. Right now, heating oil is taking a little turn downwards, and that's all right. We've got a good spread on. Um, and so the idea here is to look for markets that are at wide distances from one another. I've opened up a little market analyzer window that shows us where we are at in our ATR forecaster picture. The 121 means that we are well above the overbought area of the ATR forecaster. And the lower numbers, like this in this case, 23, means we're at the oversold levels. So I'm going to be looking into using this as a guide to determine what contracts we should be spreading against one another. Now, these are not necessarily correlated contracts. Markets don't always, um, these like a 6S versus the NQ is not a correlated market per se. So it's something you do want to approach with caution. But the idea is if you sell the overbought and buy the oversold, that is a perfect spread situation, and that's something we want to consider. So I'll be looking at that as a guide uh, for placing trades or opening up new kind of new spread ideas. All right, here is our spread. So we're taking some heat on this one. We're up 120 bucks in the NQ short, NG short, my apologies. So we're short NG from that level. Very strongly overbought. Again, we're way above the ATR high, but we are down 300 in the HO, and that's why we're at a disparity of about $200. 110 to the good, 308 to the bad. So about $200 in drawdown right now. And that shows up on the spread chart right here. We see a short one spread. Current P&L is negative 215. All right, well, that's a really good sign. So HO has come into a Leto Channels buy zone. This is going to help our spread out. So we're in the oversold, strongly oversold in heating oil. And the history, oh, the prediction is up. I like that. That's good. If we can get the HO up into this level, the spread will massively benefit. Uh, Perfect entry. Actually, that would be a much better entry on this spread. Heating oil is in a buy setup. Here's heating oil on a mean Renko chart. Excuse me. We have on the bottom here, we have the lion claw, which shows bid-ask pressure. Excuse me. We're just gonna ride it out here. We are strongly overbought, expecting a move back toward the midline. Let's have a gander at our 6E, 6S. Okay, well, we're starting to put a little bit of a move above the short period moving average. Been waiting for that to be to occur. We've got to see here. The expectation is to go up into the close once we break that level. Now, this is a much less volatile spread, and it's highly correlated too. So the 6E, 6S. 6E, so the 6S is down here, and the 6E is a little bit more overbought than the 6S. So again, our number system on the ATR forecaster, uh, it would be good to take a look at the 6S versus the 6J. So you see the 6J is quite overbought at 88, or nearly overbought. 6S is at 23, so that's an interesting spread. Why don't we switch over to that? I'm going to pull up the 6J here. This might give us a better opportunity. This must be a very low priced spread right now. It's got to be down here near the bottom. Hmm. Let's just do a quick refresh, get rid of that errant line. All right, 6J, 6S. Well, we are oversold. We are below the expected move downward. This one has been a wild ride today, huh? We had a big, strong move. Oh, okay. Well, one issue is 6J is looking at a 2-to-1 ratio to the 6S. If we were to change that multiplier, how does our spread look here? So this is a properly scaled chart. We put a 2-to-1 weighting with 2 times the 6J and then just a single 6S. We're at about $200 below the midline. Hmm. Hmm. This spread historically does move toward the midline at this point, or the midline moves toward it near the close. And this is at 2000 hours, so that's quite a ways away. You know, we're going to be out of our position at latest at 6:30, so I don't necessarily like uh, this setup. This is all down going into the close. So let's hold off on going long here on the 6J, 6S. Another one to look at would be the 6N. because that too is overbought. 6N coming in with a 79 percentile. We call it percentile. All right, well the NG is dropping. I want to see that happen. That's going to recover our spread drawdown. So we're only underwater a little bit on 182 on this NGHO spread. All right, 6N, 6S. What have you got for us? Again, we're looking to be a buyer here of the spread. Uh, Not so compelling a picture. Two things I see. First of all, the red dots going into the close are not so exciting. So I'm not sure I want to be buying this market. Another thing is you see that these channel lines are markedly below the midline. So this distance to the channel line is very small. This one's pretty big. So what that's telling me is that the market does tend to settle below the midline um, going into the close. The movement is generally much stronger below the this would have been a great time to go short back here. Would have been perfect, really, because you got red dots all the way and the channel lines are way down here. You're at the above overbought channel line. So that's something to look at in the future. We'll definitely be using my little market analyzer here to pick potential trades. So you can see like the GC is at 34%, the SI is at 67. So this is, you know, 2/3 overbought, and this is 1/3 oversold. These are really good numbers to work with. You know what? Let's add, I'm going to add the Russell. I'm going to add the YM. And we're going to add the ES. Oh, the stocks are overbought today. HO is big oversold. So if we were crazy, this is telling us to be a ES-HO spread. And we would be selling that. It's got to be like the largest, the least correlated spread in the world. So I don't know if I want to do that yet. Mm. Mm. I'm not used to talking so much, you know, my voice gives out here. All right, well, HO, you can see we're getting a little push up in our order flow. Buying pressure is here. So this lion claw, when the white dashes are above the midline, and you can see the middle of that histogram, we're looking at buying pressure. That means that buyers are coming in and hitting the ask as opposed to the bid. So that is buying pressure. This market could certainly pop. We get a good move, a recovery back to our entry price. That spread will increase in our favor. So I got in a little aggressive entry here, folks. I went in right around here. I think I was right at this area. Let's do a arrow line. I think I got short right in that area. That was a little aggressive, I admit. Lesson learned. If you have any questions, love to hear from you. Drop a comment. We need a bop in heating oil. That is a real strong chart. Leto Channels has already given two buy signals here and here. If we see a pop up to the midline, that's a good increase. That's a move of right to there is $281 move. Six N 6S. 6A could be a possibility. Yep, not too much here either. We're at the midline. Hmm. Let's get back to the 6E. HO is rounding third. It's found a little bit of a bottom. There we go. We need natural gas to drop. A good drop in nat gas will increase that value nicely. 196 now. Okay, so we're only out. So the spread drawdown right now is 216. Right here to here is a value of 500. This is a $500 target. 576. I don't have a problem with getting out earlier than that. It's about a $400 target. I'm okay with that. Let's shoot for the 400. It's really just a little bit of a flip. I mean, it's $300 negative on the HO. Strongly overbought, guys. It's a perfect setup here. Yeah, we still got a lot of buy pressure on NG. Strong buy pressure here. Weakening though. as we got magenta histo bars here. Hmm. That's a pretty good looking bounce. Again, Leto channels is a data-driven approach to overbought, oversold, and we're looking at historical ranges from the midline. When we get down here, we're in a historical region that is oversold, and prices have returned and bounced up from there, and that's what we want to do. So it's a historical average of distance from the midline, right down in here. That is, it's moving up. Again, our expectation histogram is this green histogram here near the midline, and that tells us that usually the market is usually above the midline during this time of day. All right, well, that's looking better. HO is recovering well. That's that bounce we were looking for, a little bit anyway. See how that spread then reacts. It's coming into our zone here. We like to see that break through that rising green trend line, moving average. NG is still 150 to the good. So NG is 140, 150. It's kind of petered out, but the HO is responding. HO is responding upward. And oh boy. Sometimes it could get a little boring. Need NG to drop or HO to rise. Doing both of those would be dynamite. The spread values greatly move in your favor if both instruments move in the right direction. Right? All right, we're only down 71 bucks. You can see our P&L right here at the bottom in magenta. Hmm. All right, well, I'm going to be with you guys for another hour and a half at most. Hopefully we'll get this wrapped up by then. 6E, 6S, where are you at? Oh man, I missed out. There's another good trade. Right here. You start getting some space. You get a red line turn to green, and then you get space underneath the bars. Oversold, strongly oversold, rising expectation line here into the close. Could be a really good setup. We had some good support here based on some prior price action. So 2 o'clock, this is a trade right here, guys. All right, HO is coming back. Now, I could go short again since we're seeing some space above price bars, red, fast moving average, green turn to red, but I'm not going to be greedy. Let's just stick to the course. We're only 45 bucks underwater right now. There we go, get a little push. We're gonna start seeing some green print. Again, folks, this is BOSA. This is buy one, sell another. It's called the BOSA spread trading system for Ninja 8. It's the only spread trading system out there for Ninja. You could use it, I guess you could use it for long-term spread trades, but we are using it to scalp. We are using spreads to scalp. Not going to be holding these for months. Usually spread traders, right? They'll hold a trade for weeks or a month because you're looking at long-term seasonality typically. We're not going to do that. Let's just hold on. Let's see if we can get a couple of bucks out of this guy. Heating oil is it's moving up. Now we've come into some prior support. Could be a little bit of an issue, right? Prior support. We don't want to bounce down. We want to see this push up. Another consideration, you can leg out of a spread. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Like we're at 130 positive in the NG. We could pocket that money and be holding a naked rising HO. And that's certainly possible. If you think this is a strong resistance for the move up in HO, you can exit out here, cut your losses, and you can always go long again if we break that level and get back into the spread. Mm. All right, folks, hold on. I'm going to be right back. All right, let's have a look here. HO is settling. And gas is creeping here. All right. I'm going to duplicate this chart for a moment, folks. Is the V-dollar ratio is interesting. I want to chart this on a different spread value, different ratio. So let's go like 2 NG to 1 HO. So this is a little different look. This is 2 nat gas. Looking toppy, looking very toppy. Yeah, this is a top move. Again, this is 2 natural gas against 1 heating oil. It's a little bit bigger, right? Heavier contract. You know, down to here is a $500 move. But you are trading 3 contracts when you do that. Really, a more effective is 3 to 2, but that's a 5 contract spread. 3 to 2 is a perfect weighting of these two instruments and their volatilities. So it's 3 natural gas against 2 heating oil. Certainly makes each tick much more expensive. Go to like 5. Let's go to 1,000, 1,500. I'm just taking a look at a different ratio here of contracts. Still not getting out there. Trying to move our bands out here so we can have a better look at things. Let's go 800, right? 16, 24, and 32. I'm just killing time until we can see a turnaround in this spread. So each band is $800. Again, this is it's a bigger hit, but it is showing weakness on all of those weightings. All right, I'm just kicking ideas around here. We need heating oil to push up again. That's what we need. Of course, nat gas falls apart. That would be smart. We did hit that midline, huh? Now this is the, I think it's 100. It's a 100 period moving average. HO hit that and retreated. So we want to push upward. We're still 200 underwater on the HO. It's 3 o'clock, 3:02. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. There we go. Heating oil. Move up now. Mm. Still underwater, $139. I used to quite a while ago. I had a, yeah, I remember that. I trade triangles. See that target line? It's been a while since I used that. What was it now? I think it was 2x. Yeah, gotta find out what that was. Oh, RR. That's what it is. RR. Yes. My goodness, it's been a long time. So that's a little target indicator. You see that? This little red area. Not that it matters, but I used to use this as a targeting system, and it is built into Spread Trader. This built into BOSA. Let me give you an example. So if we draw a triangle, boom, boom to boom. The idea here is if we went short there, our risk was 1 triangle size, and our target is all the way down here at that point. And this is, I'm pretty sure, 2-to-1 reward to risk. Let's go, actually, RR. 1-to-1. Yeah, so this is a 1 distance on the triangle. It's a good targeting system. Call them trade triangles. If you look at my old videos, you'll find those. All right, coming into 307 here. Last hour of trading is going to pick up. When we hit 330, we're going to see, I think we're going to see some popping. It's about a $400 target. Yeah, that's what we're waiting for. Hmm. Big day for the MNQ. Man, this market is happy. Mm-mm. Mhm. Hey, HO is making a push. You know what I should have done, guys? This is a good point. So the volatility dollar ratio, V dollar ratio, shows that we need a little more juice in the NG in order to equal the volatility of one HO. That means the HO is really the driver of this spread. And a one-to-one, if we're just trading one-to-one, we've got to look for the HO as leading signals, as leading signals. Now the NG is a little underpowered, so it serves as a small hedge, and that's something to keep in mind. So the HO is the driver of this spread. Um, that's really good insight. Got to remember that because if you're looking technically at an HO chart, you want to look for buy setups or sell setups. If you're looking to a buy setup, like right in this area, it's a great time to go short the NGHO spread because this is a long setup, and the long setup on the NGHO is a sell of the spread. I can flip that around easily enough. All right. What is our market analyzer showing? All right, we're still HO is severe. Let's do a quick sort of this. 6S is the biggest oversold market. ES is the biggest overbought on a daily ATR ratio, a daily ATR basis. What this is basically saying is that the ES is now at 125% of its daily range, average daily range. I wouldn't think of it that way. A better mathematical way of thinking is it's 24% above its daily range. And this one is telling us that we're 23% below its daily range. So it's a much smaller uh, location. All right. Well, guys, I joined you, I think, right about here. Let's see if we can get back down here, huh? That's when we started our session. It's been nothing in the right direction yet. Came to about break even at that point in time. Mm. Come on there, heating oil. Gotta be getting. Oh, yeah, we're back at the midline on Leto channel, so we're back at the 100 MA. All right, let's go here. Take a gander. 9 days on. I haven't run this one. I'm getting a little crazy here. We're gonna go back to Not seeing it. Leto channels. There it is. Duh. All right, Leto channels. Hmm. I'd like to see HO popping up here. All right. Well, we'll have to poke around with that one. Hmm. .326 in the afternoon here, Eastern Time. We do have a clock down here in the bottom right of the chart on the BOSA. Hmm. All right, HO, get on up now. Now you might think my buy level down here is a little pie in the sky. You might be right. However, a jump in HO easily make up that distance. So we're about 500 bucks below current market. So about $400 from my entry down to here. $400 in the HO. 400 is right here. So current market there. So if we got the HO up to here, that's a $400 move. Certainly, it covers it in just a few minutes here. right? Covered that in just a few minutes in this area. Just a couple of minutes right there. So it's a jumper. Could certainly hit that. Nice hold of Leto channels. Again, Leto channels showed the bottom coming in here, guys. Looks really good. Okay. Again, that's all predictive. We knew that Leto channels had oversold in this area. Let's see. All right, we're back to break even. Yeah, give or take. Heating oil pushing higher like that. That gas giving up some ground, but not not as much as heating oil, so that's what's driving our recovery. 330 on the button. Mm. NG sharing, picking up some of the slack here. NG turning south is a good move for us. Sleepy. Okay. So there we go. HO resuming a move, resuming upward. We should get an update in our spread value here. Our bid and ask dots are already in the money. So these blue and that pink dot are our projected bid and ask for the spread. It's a little tricky calculating the expected bid and ask for two instruments at a time, guys. So it's uh, uh, it's hypothetical. The idea here is to give an idea, a general idea of where you would be filled, not necessarily exactly where you'd be filled if you went and bought right at that price at that moment or sold right at that moment. So that bid and ask dot, they're not exact again because we're using market orders here. We're going to be trading in markets, and there's slippage. There's slippage involved, so keep that in mind. Especially heating oil, it's got a good size spread. Nat gas is usually not too bad. Here we're just at one tick. Heating oil's thinner. You see we only got got a 8.8 tick spread here and very small. Okay, so there we go. We got some movement here. I'm telling you folks, 3:37 in the afternoon. Keep the dream alive here. Yeah, see, we're coming up on that upper channel. It's a very critical level. We're in profit on the HO now. After spending most of our time underwater, we've been long since here. NG, all right, we're 60 in profit there. $70. And this could pop quick as we get into 340 is on the doorstep. We're coming up at 340 right now, 340. You know, markets are popping like 345, and then 350, 355, and certainly the biggest one is right at the 4 o'clock mark. Yeah, look at that. We hit our overbought Leto channels, got a nice short signal, but we don't want to go short. We want it to move into profit. All right, gas is turning south, giving us a little boost in our equity. Now, these green cycle dots are a simple CCI indicator on the spread itself. CCI calculation. I think green means you're below negative 100. That's oversold on the CCI. And then magenta is overbought or plus 100. It might be, yeah, I think so. I think so. I'll take a look at it. But nice in the NG. I need you to move up. Again, we could leg out of this spread if we were to put like a limit order right there. Certainly get out and a profit. We do what we want to do. They're not like tied together in a strong sense. The two positions. Nice. Nat gas is going south. Heating oil is not giving it up. Hmm. Yeah, 345. We're at 344 here, guys. Things can get funky. Let's get a little more conservative since we are running short on time. very simple. We'll target $242. 250. Make it a round number. 250 here. Well, we're down 130 on oil and we're up 120 on gas. There we go. Getting a little move in the right direction. See if heating oil can pick it up here at the end of the day. All right. 347 and a half. I know. Going a long way for 250. Oh, long distance for 250, but I kind of got in it. It was a bad move. I will learn eventually not to get in there. Really getting in down here was smart. Getting in below that level, getting in below that level. We got to look for reversal points. And once we break that structure low, this is right where it should have gotten in right here. I'd have been up there down to the current market is 168 per contract. That was the move. All right. So coming in on almost 1 minute to the 50 mark. 1.5 minutes to the 50 mark. So volatility could pop. Could pop in. All right. 20 seconds to go to the 50-minute mark. 20 seconds to go to the 50-minute mark. All right, we're at 50. It is 1550. Hmm. Well, folks, I am sorry. I thought this was going to be an exciting finish. It's just petering. Maybe we'll close out with a loss. Heating oil is not cooperating with my plan. Heating oil still causing our trouble here. 142 down. All right, so what do we got? A minute and a half to the 55 mark. Okay, 1 minute. Well, half a minute. I think everybody went home. They're out there lurking. Okay, they're lurking. They're waiting. All right, we're at the 55-minute mark. So we've got if we pop up there in the next couple of minutes, we'll be out with a slight gain. So this is legging out of the spread. Now we can also get fancy and do a buy limit down here. See if we hit either of those, we can get out. Turn off the auto trade. There's a spot right here, folks. Break up there. Well, let's have a gander at the Nasdaq. Now, this has got to be exciting market. Such a huge up day. We're kind of at the 100 here. We had a good sell-off. That would have been a great trade off of Leto Channel's high. Yeah, crude came in. Nice sell at the Leto Channel's high. Yeah, look at that. Spread is just kind of falling out here. And the close. Gas moving a little further south. All right, so we are at almost a minute and a half go to the session. All right, 30 seconds, 40 seconds. All right, session's over. 4 o'clock. Just could not get our heating oil rally, guys. Yeah, Leto channel's too smart. They're coming near the other side. Okay. Well, not too bad. If we can pick that up. Gas is coming near our target. We'll get out of there. It'd be a sweet move. Let's see if we can get gas down to the 464. Okay. So we got a little piece of flesh out of the gas trade. 170 in the gas market. We're down 172 here. So we are officially unbalanced. And if you look at the spread indicator, it will tell you it's unbalanced. So we're still long one in heating oil, and we are not short in gas anymore. There we go. Let's pop back up, recover some of our loss. If I got out right now, I'd be up, $10, $7. Almost cover our commissions. How did 6E6S turn out? Just a big old fizzle. Look at that though, huh? Spread is moving down. Gas kept going south. Got a little move, little rally here. Come on now. One tick up. I'm excited. One tick up. You can reach it. If we get to that point, we are just going to be down. Uh, well, yeah, we're down 40. So we'll be, net 130 on the day if we can get up to our exit here. Because I'm already up 170 on the closeout of gas. Already hit our 170 on there. It's nice. Very thin market. I mean, there's only mm, very thin. Some activity. Had some 9. Mm-hmm. Mm. Tickling the lower channel here on Leto channels. Wow, a lot of sell volume. They are crushing the bid. Mm. Yeah, and here we are. They did hit the bid pretty heavy on gas. Let's see if it recovers. I'm gonna hold on. No big deal. I'm out, you know, roughly break even right now, but ain't no thing. Been up a good amount, 2 grand in the last couple days. Yeah, that was the trade. All right, getting out here at that level. Smarter move next time. All right, so let's bail out here. All right, folks. Hey, it's been a pleasure. Well, let's wrap it up right now. You guys have been great. I wish you all the good things in your life and your journey. God bless you today. Have a good day, and we'll see you hopefully tomorrow. Do some more trading. All right, have a great one.